Alright, guys. It's time for game 2 of this week's StarCraft, your freaking awesome replays. It is, of course, the Pretend Proxy Challenge, where you've got to build a proxy purely to confuse your opponent, and don't use it in the expected way at all. So, building proxies and they're not really using them, or just using them to macro up, distracting your opponent by building a hatchery in their base and never planning to even build off it, hiding a DT shrine in view of an overlord, and then never making DTs. I don't know, all sorts of crazy stuff with some of the suggestions I gave out up here in the top right. Not launch, it is Louch Zealot. Zealot. Louch Zealot? Lauk? Lauk Zealot. Is this German? Lauk? Is this a German word? Does anybody know what Lauk means? I do not know. Lorch? Lauk? I'm going to call him Louch Zealot. That's what I'm going to go with. You guys can correct me. Have your backseating at it. Go for it. Read it after the game. Down here in the bottom left. After May, before May, after March, it is April. April. It's interesting. What's April named after anyway, right? Because like August is like Augustus and shit. Don't really know what most of the months are named after. Lauk is German, it means leak. Oh shit. So it's like a leaky zealot? Is it like a zealot with incontinence? Is it a zealot who needs to wear those adult diapers? Has a little bit of a bit of leaky problem. Okay, it's a leaky zealot, guys. All right, I like it. We're just gonna call him that then. Oh yeah, leaky zealot coming across with 6 Zerglings, already unable to contain himself, and is gonna drip a few Zerglings out and get those across the map. And that's gonna try and cover this corner base, where I think it's just gonna be, hey, I'm just gonna build a hatchery and like macro up, but you're gonna think I'm on one base, but you're not. And April's like, oh, you're not expanding, you're going all in. Good response so far, by the way. This is, look at the APM, this is a Masters level game. Look at this response. I don't think that third gateways, maybe not Masters. Oh, bad Zealot. Oh my god, the Zealot's attacking the cyber. April just did some of the biggest micro I've ever seen in my life. Did you guys see that? Moved out with the Zealot and then attacked the cyber core. Thankfully, the probe does a nice wall off to make fun of it. People are saying it's leak, not leaky. Yeah, I know you mean like the vegetable. Yeah, I figured that was what you guys meant. But let's be real, it's better this way. That's like, no, it's like the vegetable. Oh, these Zerglings are going to get the cyber core. Why are we building so many shield batteries? That's not walled up there. That's not walled up. Heal it, 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 heal it. Oh my god, April. You could have healed that. There's a shield battery right there, bud. Zerglings do take down part of the wall. They mess up the build, but it's only 15 drones here. Worker count now just starting to build up against the 19 probes of April, who's going for a second gas, but already has 230 in the bank. Not sure if that's the right focus there, bud. We'll see exactly how it goes. Guys, don't forget to get your replays in for next week. The challenge is kick the Ant Hive. Swarm your opponent with masses of low-tier units. As always, is this a low-tier unit, pig? Answer it for yourself. The rules are never completely set in stone. Use your own common sense, and we'll be a little bit more lenient based on how fun the game is. Guys, I'm quite sure there's a hole right there, right? Quite sure there's a big hole. And I've got to say, as 10 Zerglings that are a little bit leaky, I would get a bit aroused seeing that hole, and I might try to cram myself through it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Zerglings are just constantly trying to force themselves through anything they can find. Like, and not in a weird... I mean, like... Oh, what do we... Okay, I think April's realized there's a hole there. So the Adept will try to wall that off. Fair enough. Lair is on the way here. Leaky Zealot just going to say, you know what? The Zergling Rush hasn't quite won the game, but my opponent's been on one base for a long time. I forced them to build a sentry turret. That is where your sentry pops out behind gateways and then spends the rest of the game there. This is basically building a force field tower. For anyone who's ever had a tower defense where you can build a tower that actually blocks part of the map, that's essentially what this is. You can build that in your wall if you're a really big brain Protoss player. Behind this, up to 3 gases. Protoss player did lose the probe, but really was worried about a one base all in, right? Saw no expansion for ages, has Adept, Stalker, Sentry. No tech yet except for this Stargate, which is just halfway done. And is it going to be a Nidus worm? Are we going to see a cheeky butthole? A Sentry and Adept go out. They do have a shield battery, so they should be fine. I'm not sure why only 2 units have gone out. Feels like April's freaking out a little bit. He's going to try and probe up that natural. 22 bros versus 38 drones. Oh my god. Oh no. This is looking pretty sick for Leaky Zealot. He's going to go Nidus Worm. Now, I think there is one small mistake here for Leaky Zealot. Hasn't really thought about what they're putting in the Nidus Worm. This is one of those ones where you're like, a Nidus Worm. And it's like, you know you don't have a Roach Warren, right? They're like, oh, that's okay, I can do it with Queen Ling. And you're like, what queens and lings? And they're like, oh, I only have one queen and like 10 Zerglings. Maybe that's not actually the best way to Nidus Worm? Who knows? Who knew? Phoenix comes in for April and is like, you know, I see that, buddy. I do see that. Is going to build an Oracle to start. Are we going to pull up to defend the main? We're going to build a Robo. Okay. So April scouts the Nidus, goes back with the Phoenix, does a double take, clicks on it, knows it's almost finished. The response is going to be, okay, finally. A minute later, two Stalkers will guard the main. There's still actually not quite space, I think. I think a Nidus would be revealed if it was there. Not too bad, they're not too bad. I was going to be hypercritical there. The moment where you look at it, you go, that's coming, that's coming, that's coming. And then you just start building random defensive structures. Okay, some shield batteries in the main. I can get behind it. Oracle's going to come in now. He's going to say, all right, buddy. I'm going Oracles, I'm going Void Rays, I'm going Robo, shield batteries. None of these things are actually good versus Spire. And he's going to scout the Spire? No. Oh my god, the drones are hiding from the Oracle by getting inside the Nidus Worm. It might not smell good, but it will provide warmth and safety. You know, Han Solo there crams a whole bunch of Luke Skywalkers who are unconscious here in the snows of ice and chrome inside that butthole. He says it's just like getting inside one of those fucking snow horses. What are they called? Snow alpaca creatures. He's like, just get inside. They're like, it's literally a Zerg butthole. It smells. And he's like, get inside. Protect yourself from the fucking lasers and the extreme weather of this map. Speaking of which, does this map, you guys remember, and then Luke goes, he's in that cave, and he fights the thing, and then he's stupid enough after killing it to... Oh, there is one of them. I knew it. I thought there was one of them on this map. That's the thing he kills, right? It's an Ursidon, apparently, but it's like a snow Ursidon. Fair enough. That does look kind of like the thing that... It's like, hey, what are you doing in my cave? Oh, do you want to hang out? And he's like, ugh, and he fucking chops its belly open, even though he's the one literally who's invaded its house. And you're like, yeah, go Luke, kill that fucking poor defenseless creature who doesn't even have a laser sword, you piece of shit. Speaking of pieces of shit, we've got 6 Mutalisks flying across. And the sentries and stalkers are frantically trying to run home. Oh no, sentries in the open. Oh god. Oh no, the Guardian Shield's so important for fighting against mutas, man. The sentries are all going to go down there. Try hard muta micro, but one muta does go down. Great observing there from Pig. We call that the slidey slide. We do that just to give you guys a little bit of a breakup in the tension. Sometimes you can follow the action too well and see too much of what's going on. So we like to just kind of drag the screen across the map so that you can appreciate it when the observing is actually not terrible and shit. Now there is 5 gate, 2 forges behind this, and we're going to try and attack with 4 adepts and 4 stalkers. So April here is deciding, okay, you're going mutiling, often attacking against that is a good idea, and apparently 5 gateways and a handful of unupgraded gateway units is going to be the answer. Leaky Zealot here says, sorry, I can't hold it anymore, and just sprays a bunch of unupgraded Zerg units across this and says, apparently when you don't have Clave Adepts or anything, pushing in there is not the right idea? Who knew? What I really like here is the decisiveness, you know? You said, okay, I've spotted its mutas, I'm going to go Void Rays, because that's what counters Mutalisks, not Phoenix. And we're also going to go double Forge and attack with our handful of units. I mean, you've survived the first muta wave. You've lost some sentries, which is kind of rough. But it's that point where I'm like, okay, so I guess you build Phoenix and you like get some more stuff up. And it's kind of thinking that, but then also attacking at the same time with a handful of unupgraded. Okay, Leaky Zealot there, I think, broke the opponent's brain there after going, here's 15 Zerglings attacking your wall, punched him in the face with the wall attack, threw him off, said, look, I don't even have an expansion, took a corner base, run to double the worker count very quickly, did the old fake Nidus Worm just to freak them out. That's literally mooning your opponent. You guys know what mooning is? It's where you show them your big bare white ass cheeks to freak them out, right? It's a combat tactic. So if you guys are ever about to fight somebody and you know you don't really know how to fight, you've got to be creative with your tactics. Grab some loose sand or gravel, throw it in their eyes, right? Kick them in the groin, bite them, take your shirt off and rub your nipples and start moaning and hope it scares them and they run away, that sort of stuff. In this case, Leaky Zealot said, I'm going to show you my butt. Just put the Nidus Worm down right underneath that Phoenix. The Phoenix was like, whoa, what is this? You know, the fucking light shining off it, because it's ice and chrome as well, right? And the light's shining off the big fucking white ass cheeks there. And freaks out, overreacts, and then bam, swaps into the real strategy, the Muters, which is the equivalent of literally putting on your steel-toed boots, getting a run-up, and then kicking your opponent in the crotch. Takes out the sentries, breaks their will to live as they realize they're not going to be able to procreate after that, and April takes a terrible engagement. Well done, Leaky Zealot. Thank you very much. People are saying it's a fit. He likes leeks, the vegetable. Leek is one of the most overrated vegetables, unless it's in potato and leek soup, in which case it's kind of amazing. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to get your replays in with the Kick the Ant Hive challenge for next week. We'll see you in the next one. Goodbye and good night.